now, and today I need to do some work on the Tauri tab because I want to make things look a little bit nicer than they are already. And I'll just I'll just now start sharing my screen and jump over to straight into the code. So let's have a look. Um, so I believe you're now able to see my screen, and what I have here is VS Code on one hand. That has the Tauri app running, and it also has the the app on the browser window. So as you can see, I have the logs over here, and I have the call stack, the sources, and our Tauri tab. So what I want to do with this Tauri tab is play around, see how it looks like, and go tweaking. And let's see how we can make the UX a little bit better. So before I do that, let me just center my camera properly. Whoa. And let's go for it. So, oh, Brandon, Fabian, and Eleftheria. Thanks for showing up. So let me know what you think. So right now, what we have in this is, I feel that this click area is a little bit too small. So it's kind of you need to properly aim here, and it yeah, and unfortunately the minimum size doesn't have any kind of feedback. But what I feel is most important and easy to tackle is actually inside the Tauri, when we're inspecting the Tauri. What? Whoop, whoop, whoop. No. It should not be just like that. It should have more stuff. Where is it? So yeah. So first of all is if something is in config and the booleans. Why am I not showing everything? What's going on? I'm so confused right now. My font size is really small. Thanks, Daniel. Should be better now. And yeah, let me close up a little bit. Let me see. I can have a look at. Yeah, it's a bit small as well. Here, actually have a low resolution. Yep. Okay, so let me clean up the clutter. I don't need this over here. And this is already running. So the way the web client is, we got the source over here. Let me just give it a little bit more space. We got the source on the left side, and so the way we structure is on the entry side, you have all the routes, which is config based. And then once you take the routes, we just pass them over here. So now, once you go inside, you have two routes. As you can see in the over here, we have the first route, which the root is automatically navigating to /app because that's where we're serving it from. And then Once you're inside the app, you get the dashboard, and the dashboard has a bunch of nested views in it. So with the dashboard, then you have the calls, the console, and the Tauri tab. So the Tauri tab is actually a very thin wrapper around our configuration with our configuration provider, and this split pane is the one that does most of the heavy load. So it's the one that it's a vanilla JavaScript library that allows us to drag and drop and do this kind of nice things. So this one I'm not gonna touch right now. What I want to touch is the configuration view, because as you can see, the tables are not quite suited for handling some of the states and depending on how the screen is looking like. So I want to jump in and play around with the styles a little bit. It's gonna be fun because my biggest involvement on this tab during our development was actually reviewing code from Johan. So I'm almost as fresh as you guys are to this code, which is gonna be really cool. So let's see. We have this configuration value, and this is actually this particular view is actually quite tough to get it right. Like, I think Johan did an amazing job, because what we're essentially doing is parsing JSON and trying to get some kind of type safety out of a JSON type that is actually, the JSON schema is pretty open in this case. So it's quite hard to get it narrowed down. So as you can see, hey Vitor, how's it going? So as you can see over here, what we have is a bunch of stuff handling the configuration coming in, and what we're going to show in the tooltips, which is these ones. And these ones are looking great. I think we might need to do a little bit of tweak when it comes to accessibility and contrast here, because of the bold font and the contrast, but I'll give this a second pass. What I want to do is fix the grid with this in config, because now it's just like, it's supposed to be a label that tells us if a configuration is set from the config or it's just using the default from the JSON. And yeah, so let's go over to the JSON view, which is, no, this is this is the actual JSON, and it's rendering. So the configuration view is gonna have the loaded, the Tauri config. Oh, this one is nasty. We need to fix this hover state on top of the active ones, because the hover state works well when it's inactive, but the hover state on the active ones is not good at all. So let's go with that one first. Let's see if I can find it easily. I should be able to. So we have the configuration tooltip, we have the sidebar. It should be on the sidebar. So we have a loading here, which we actually have a loader component, because this is gonna make it easier on us to refactor later. So once we have a proper loader, this one should actually work. And I don't know why my VS Code's not aware of my TypeScript and my Vite aliases. So if anybody has tips on this, let them know. So we have the tabs, we have here hovers, and this one is the nasty one. So the hover, the text turns white, and I want actually to see the background. Where's the background? Hover background. This color is the one that's causing my troubles. So let's see. What happens now? Come on, come on. Did you rebuild? Yes, you did. Yeah, if class on hover. Am I in the right place? Yep, I am in the right place. So why didn't you pick it up? Okay, so now we have no styles on hover. So now what I want to do is switch color. So what we actually want in this case is on we're using this oh my god, I cannot type anymore. We're not using this the tailwind classes. So an active class, my IntelliSense is not really picking up. Okay. So now at least have something that's different. It's not great. Al's probably not gonna love it, but it is accessible. So with this one, at least, this color is it's quite different though. This one the actual background pulls more towards the bluish green, and the emerald is not quite what I want, I think. Let me use this one to actually compare. This is really bad because this is really tough for me because this color, this like green and blue color, is actually the spectrum that I'm kind of colorblind to it. My wife is a designer. Every now and then, I think something is green, it's actually blue. Uh, One time I actually had to open up the color code because I was telling everybody that a color was green and everybody was saying it was blue, and it was actually 2 points, 2 RGB points more towards blue. Um, so yeah, this is quite tough on me. So let's see what else the Tailwind has here out of the box for us. Zinc stone. No, I want something more greenish. Amber, yellow, lime. Yeah, green. Yeah, this looks more like the green we have on the other ones. Let's see, post emerald, teal. Yes, teal is what we want. So let's see how it's a teal 500 in this case. Yeah, horrible. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Okay, so I'll keep this one for now, and then on active item, active sidebar item. Okay, one commit. Really not a total waste of time, right? So we are back into it. Now, haha, there's another one over here. Okay. Why? Yeah, there's another one over there. So we need to actually swap at this. And this is actually styles that we could hoist over. Yeah. So I'll add this to the previous commit, and I need to sign it again. These are my aliases, by the way, just because I do that all the time. So yeah. Here we are again. And so I know Brandon played around with with the DevTools. So if you have any pain points you want me to address before these things that I'm doing, let me know. Oh yeah. Johan, I'm messing up with your code, man. How's it going? I like your code, by the way. Let's see where this inconfig is. Remember I said I didn't need the active bar? Now I do. Activity bar. Flags. There you go. No, your code's not messing me up. I like your code. I reviewed your code. I'm not allowed to not like your code. Because if your code that's on main and I don't like it, it's because I did a poor job reviewing it. So, by the way, Johan, I think we look at this. Shouldn't this view here has more of the Tauri config? I just pulled main. I think something changed. Probably need to check that out. Let's see, by the way. Let's go debug that, right? Tauri dashboard views. Let's see. Have inside the Tauri context provider, making a configuration context, descriptions. Let's go edit building. The configuration view. So let's see, we're creating the tabs with the keys. Yes, yes, yes. That's good. And now we want to see if it's selected or not. So this one, it's over here. So this show. Get here. I want to see what's going on. Awesome. Let's see now. I got the tab, and the tab is the tab config schema JSON, which makes sense. And then it should go inside the configuration value and output one by one. Yep. So now this one, you want to dig in. Yep. So this is again the same tab, and then it's not showing anything. What? Let's remove this one so it doesn't bother us. So we are not getting to this match over here. Why do you think it won't reach there? It should reach there. Should have something here. Because we are going schema JSON and tab is an accessor function. should still kind of happen. So let's see, what is tab and why? So tab, yeah, tab is an accessor, and then inside there's a switch, then it's gonna go to the configuration value, and then once this happens, and both are named tab, yes, both are named tab, that's right. But yeah. So this one could be just a T, and this one just a T. And T, and yeah. Okay, so now we got more stuff, and there we go. Woohoo! Live debugging. Nice. Teamwork. Thanks, Johan. You just saved my stream. Let's go ahead and switch this thing, because this thing, like check and not check, are actually let's remove the debugger and the console info. What did I do? What did I do? So we need to remove this one actually. And pa and the 4 goes here, here, here. We don't need that. Awesome. And then same over here. And don't need this. And I hate semicolons. That's why I hate semicolons. Okay, so awesome. So now we actually have a fixed bug. Oops. So now my activity tab needs to come back once more, and let's find checkmark emoji. Okay, so configuration is valid. This one. You know that thing that the most permanent thing in the world is temporary code? Yep, that's this one. So actually gonna replace this with true. And let's use font. Nested ternaries, huh? Such a savage one. Nested ternaries. Okay. Cool. So let's navigate a bit more. And Okay, so I think these ones could be switched. Let's change a little bit as well here on the activity bar. I want to mess a little bit with the defaults and in config thing. So default, let's replace this with neutral. How much real estate we actually have. And here I'm gonna replace for a user set. And instead of this, make it I didn't change. Oh yeah, it is default value. Yada yada. Why switching the text changed something? Oh, you're checking if it is default, and it might be both default and set by the user. If the user types it, but type the default. Yeah. Not sure. Is that use? Yeah, that might be useful. And people might decide to delete things. Yeah. I'll save this one for later. Let's see these tabs. These tables. Yeah, we can change how it looks. Yeah. Yeah. This tier one is the one that's actually really bothering me because it has very little contrast with the background. So so yeah, yeah. We could have though. We could have a switch here where if it is locals, if it is the default value, we place default. If it is in config, we say set by the user, and if it is both, we can say it's redundant. The redundant doesn't really explain why. But yeah, maybe we could add a tooltip in this case. So I'll just leave it as it is. And so text mono? It's not text mono, it's font mono. Font mono. Okay, so okay. Oh, if that was the plan, I'm gonna do this now. And then we're good to go. So this I can actually switch for a match. Oops, not a match here. We want to switch actually. And the switch is gonna require. Hey Jacob, how's it going? Wow. Okay, so show the icon on the sidebar if there are hints. Yeah. Oh, you actually have a match in TS, Victor. So there's, for example, you could write a match like this, switch, and then you say always true, and then case option one, and then you do something, and then case option two, and then you do something else. Yeah, I was using match from solid, but if you do something like this, you can have something that resembles pattern matching in a way with TypeScript. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna use the match from solid in this case. I just somehow forgot the syntax. Um, let me just double check over here. So yeah, yeah, of course we need a fallback, and this, and now switch. So this is gonna be one match, and be the other one. And then this is not using show anymore, but it also needs a switch. So yeah, that's why I was getting all of the alarms that gaslit me. So we have the first match where something is in the config. We have what something is the default value. We have the second match when something is in the config, which I'm gonna do user set, and this can be again the neutral 400. Yeah, it's either on the config or user set, and then some cases, as we've seen, they can be both. So let's go with this. Yeah. And when something is both, so we're gonna do this set default in this case. And this is not good because it's always matching the first one, and then, yeah, when we have both. So in this case, this needs to go up there. Now we have everything that is set as a default, though it shouldn't be. And yeah, because these styles are the same, we could, though, just hoist them up. And something like this. So then we only actually match text, and I do the styles once. Yep. Oh, the doesn't allow me to do like that. Not. Yeah. Match needs to be a direct descendant of the switch. Okay. So yeah, now we have this defaults and the users. Let me actually go back to the chat. Um, no, I think switches are cool again, Victor. There was actually a tweet by Matt showing that pattern with the switch true, and yeah, I think it's okay. I use switch all the time. I actually think it's more elegant to have a switch than to have a bunch of if else's. Um, kind of makes my code look a little bit more declarative, which I like. Um, and for solid specifically, switches are pretty good because they are because as you can see, the show they match individually, while the switch with the match actually enforces you to have only one of the options. So if you match first, that's it, and that's good. Um, it's just like yeah. So another thing that I want to deal with is the tables that are switching a lot, and I also don't really love the fact that we're printing arrays with a key value system. I think this like left column for arrays just take a lot of unnecessary space. Um, and this screen is pretty cluttered as it is. So we could take some real estate back with that. It's also going to allow because Johan has big plans to make this tab way more intelligent. And so allowing him to have more space would be nice. Chaining ternaries is, yeah. So Johan did something here. Johan has a nested ternary somewhere. Where is it? See? I think it's hard to read. I never know what's going on here. So we have this one. So if the value is not a Boolean, it just brings the value. And then if the value is a Boolean, then it checks if it's a it's a truthy value or a falsy value. Like, just takes me 5 days to read this. Now, look if I do that with a switch. You could do like type of pro. Yeah, no, not even a switch, but for example, in this case, a switch would be but if you have like this and then you can return or you return value. And what? Oh, an early return. No, that's not the case though. Yeah. This is fine. This should work anyway. Because it's behind an effect, and so that would be okay. Yes. But yeah. Anyways, we could just like not use a JSX there. Oh, Alf is here. Okay, so now I got some design review during my live stream. That's cool. And awesome. So let's make these lines better at least. This is gonna soothe me a little bit more. So we have the span detail. No, that's not the table I want. Configuration tooltip. That doesn't seem like the table that I want. Monitor data. We have a bunch of tables. Oh my god. Spans. Tauri config schema. Could be this one. No, this is something else. Yeah, it should be this one then. Config tooltip. Is it this one? Table here. Huh? It's not a table at the moment. Talking about, man. A table? Why does it look like a table and it's not a table? Okay. Let me find this. You have a flex go. You have this combination a lot of. Here we go. So not quite the one I'm looking for though. Oh, you have the array, so we could essentially just okay. So you know you're printing an array when you're doing this thing. So we can just omit that part. Nice. You know I don't like Flexbox, right? Yeah, I just yeah. More often than not, I feel Flexbox just computes too much UI for me. Yeah, I know. That's a JSON problem, right? Yeah, so what happens is that because we're getting a JSON and the types on the schema cannot be very narrow, so then we don't really know if what of the all valid possible values of a JSON we have until the moment we start printing them. And then because of that, we end up having this kind of listing. So yeah, so this is the thing we want to fix, and I think we need to address. Euclid, where is Euclid? Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, sure. I need to check on our Tailwind config, to be honest, about this Euclid thing, because I'll check with Tejas. Yeah, so we have the default sans for a font family is Euclid. So what happens is that we're gonna have to create two different ones. We need to create one for title. So this would be like title one, and then the sans become inter. Yeah. But now I just broke every title. So yeah, let's make a note that I broke all the titles. And then we need to go title by title when replacing font sans with font title in this case. But I think better readability on the text is better in this case. Awesome. So yeah. Okay, so let's what we need so yeah, that would be a decent workaround. Good idea, Victor. If I go to our CSS, no, this slider CSS, no. This one, I can come over to base. Where's base? Base here. We have root, yada yada, and yeah. So now I can do H1, H2, H3, 4, 5, and 6, and we can do apply font title. Boom! Victor fixed it for us. Awesome. So yeah, coolio. And now we have everything fixed, thanks to Victor Tailwind. And yeah, Now let's see. Let's see. So they're to me they're like, yeah. No, we need to assume that titles are age tags. They need to be, otherwise I'm gonna freak out. And accessibility too. So what we need to do, I think, is we could we need some space because this is the resources section, and there's like no space between that and this list that I just found out it's a list. Like same for the icon and stuff like that. And yeah, and that kind of explains why we're having this sort of things, because these are actually list items. They are not table. Like a table would actually make the split be equal. It's a bit more complex. Yeah, I no, yeah, I know it's tough to do that. I know that, man. I saw the amount of gymnastics you had to do. I'm just trying to work on top of it. I'm not saying, but yeah, it is complex in this case. So let's let's go with the let's check the li styles in this case. Where are these borders being set up? Because there are like some borders that are collapsing. There's a div somewhere. Oh, this class is not that common. Yeah, nailed it. So we have this thing. Let's make. Ooh, okay. So this is between them. And what I want actually, we have border 1 and border 2 in this case. What happens? Damn, no, bad. Why not? What happened, Tailwind? I don't want spacing. We got 2, which is 2 pixels. I want 1 pixel. It should be this. Edit. The yeah. Opacity. Can I just make it darker? How am I gonna find that thing? Tooltip. Tooltip. Oh, one more. So this. Not here, man. tooltip value. Yeah, that's not the one I want. I want object value. Yeah. I know we need to have some assertions because of the JSON schema. I think once we parse it, we can better we can eliminate those. Oh, what are you talking? Ah, that file. Uh-huh. That file should be easier to find. Saw this thing before. Uh-huh. I don't think that file comes from our code base though. It's hard coded. Yeah, it is. Okay. But yeah, you wanted that this titles before. Let's see. This one should be easy to find. This combination. So props key, and here's the thing, and Alv wants it. Why not? Oh, that's not an actual question mark. Sneaky Johan. Hey Nicola, how's it going? Let me do a little bit padding, I guess. Yep. Does it get the Alv stamp of approval? Now let's check. Oh, this empty. Where is it coming from? So the empty is when the prop value is undefined. No. Yeah, when there's no value in this prop. So yeah, let's do. Yep, let's do this. And Whoop. Hmm. Yeah, no, that doesn't work because a lot of arrays in this case. Arrays inside of arrays. So let's see if this looks better for any reason. So we can not show is empty. That would probably be a little bit, make the UI a little bit friendlier. Yeah. Which in this case, it's the same as not having a fallback. So we show if array is not empty, and then if array is populated, then for each value we show something. And then, yeah, of course, if the value is falsy, it's not gonna. So why the table is a list and not a table? That's a good question. That's because this is actually not a table. It's a list of all the values you set on the JSON. So semantically speaking, this is actually not a table. We do display them in a tabular way because it's a bunch of key values, but we're actually, what we're doing essentially is listing the values that are declared in your package JSON and your Tauri config JSON. So it got hard to make them into a table, I would guess. So yeah, it's a tree view, which is more like a list in this case. So what Johan did is actually, you don't have even a single list. You have the pattern, which is the top level key, and then that pattern has a bunch of, it's an object with a bunch of, or an array with a bunch of other values. So then from the pattern, he lists everything in a key value with key value pairs. And then that way he goes down, and one by one he does it like that. So what I think, and I'm no designer, is that it probably should not look like a table. So yeah, maybe that's something that we should take it in and rethink this part of the UI, because it already got cluttered. We have here the key, which is identifying what is the key in the package JSON, and then we have something that's defining if this was set or not. So it's either set by the user and it is a default, or it's not set by the user and it is a default, or it's set by the user and it's not a default. And then we have the value that show up. So these are actually 3 little items for each one. And yeah, I'm also curious to know what Alf thinks of that. Because I'm starting to think it should be better in this case. Yeah, it makes sense. So what happened is that there was a huge rabbit hole inside this tab, because the Tauri config can become very, very complicated. You can have multiple Tauri configs for a single Tauri app, and it's a gigantic JSON. So Johan actually grabbed the schema and tried to parse the schema to get all these tooltips. And then we ended up getting overwhelmed with the amount of data we have. Like, the biggest challenge for the DevTools app is that we have way more data than we are able to to show. So there is actually, in terms of grabbing data from the instrumentation app, there's a lot of stuff that's coming in that actually need to be able to handle the back pressure from the stream client. And when we start parsing the JSON, there are like a bunch of like different routes. Like if the user set this up, they need to set that up. If the user set that up, they need to have this up. If they was, and so on. And on top of that, there's also V2 coming up. So we are actually trying to figure out what is the best way for us to parse different JSON schemas and show all this data and be able to give hints about how to improve that data, those values. Yeah. So yeah, Johan has this idea of getting them into a second screen in this case. But yeah. Yes, we want to be able to pass the V2 configs. Luckily, we have some time, like a month, maybe two, before V2 goes stable. I don't know. But that is definitely something we want to do. That also, we want to be able to give you better insights, especially when it comes to CSP, for example. So at this point, we're showing you the values, and we are trying to make it clear when it's not really set. But there's still a lot to do in this case, because we could, for example, parse the CSP and give you like, oh, you're setting the CSP with an invalid directive or deprecated one, or you're missing one because, for example, here you have the default, you have connect source, but you don't have, for example, the style source, you don't have the script source, and so on. So we could give some hints. We could give some hints about freezing prototypes, like especially once we are already aware. For example, if you're using Tauri with React, for example, a bunch of React libraries have problems with freeze prototype. So it could let you know, oh, you have React in your package JSON and you're freezing the prototype. This might cause you issues. So yeah, these are kinds of stuff that we want to be aware of. Or for example, on the where is it? Here, when you have the allow list of APIs, we can let you know, like for example, if you set the scope to true, or if you set the dialog or notifications, there are APIs that can be very easily can harass users and essentially make your app dangerous if you get yourself exposed in a way. So this is definitely something that we want to be mindful of and help you being mindful of when you're writing. Because one thing that a lot of people do is they turn on all when they're developing, and then they might just forget before shipping it. So that's definitely something we want to handle. But yeah, essentially the case is too much data, too much ideas, and lots of complexity to get them out of the box. Like one quick win for us would be yeah, forget, I just don't mind. Yeah, one quick win for us would be to make this pane over here entirely collapsible. So in this case, like you don't actually need to all the time be looking at your source code. So you could just collapse that, and then you evaluate this. And once you get to a point where, yeah, that's something I want to look at on the source code, and really, this did this oh, this is something I was unaware of. It's oh, it knows what it is. Dude, this is so cool. So even that we can like collapse this and say, yeah, show me in the source code, and boom, you get there to the right line. So this would be like a huge bang of a feature that would clean up a lot of space and just allow Valve to go wild on the designs for this page. Because yeah, I'm just saying, like, making JSONs not boring is a huge task. So not boring to look at, that's what I mean. But yeah. So yeah, I broke the thing with the lack of fallback. Not really, it was already broken. Okay. Yeah, this one is the one we actually need to show if it. Why you keep showing empty crap? Yeah, the small badges are great. Yeah, yeah, I do like iconography a lot. The problem is that when it starts getting less intuitive, um, yeah, I know the keys are empty. I want to take them out because they're empty. We don't need to show empty keys. That's my point. Like, I mean, instead of empty, we show it. But if it's sunset, what's the default in this case? It's an array of strings or null. So in this case, that would be null. Mm-hmm. So if we have a value, it's an array. If it is an array, then we call the array value. If I check for the length, you sure? Let me do it again. Because I'm filtering out all the booleans. Yeah, but then I'm not. Oh, it's getting big. Okay. Is Hmm. Yeah, then we get some empty titles. Yep. It's getting there. It's getting there. This crap still here. My nemesis. Um, yeah. I think to tackle the list properly, I'll need more time. How long are we at this point? It's been a great stream. I love seeing you all here. Thanks a lot. I'm feeling like I could wrap this one up and take this one off. It's not any good. Not enough. I think we got some decent finished work. Oh, that would be awesome to have a shared session. Do this. Okay, so closing up and we're commit smashers, so I'm not that worried about my commits in this case. Let's go over to GitHub and do that together to close up the session. So where's my tab? Victor, what's your GitHub handler? Where's my chat? I lost my chat. I'm gonna find you. There you are. Pass. Hey, should be. It doesn't have decent autocomplete here. Weird. Ah, all of it does. Okay. And then I'll put the link over for this chat later. Signing myself and some nice enhancement. And there you go. Awesome. Let me paste this in the chat. Hey, awesome. This was cool. This was nice. Let me just go back to my own face. So guys, thanks a lot for bearing with me on this, and I had fun. I hope you did, and I think we should do this more often, though. Yeah. So I hope to see you all around. I think that so tomorrow I'll be at React Day Berlin. There is actually a session about the future of front-end frameworks that I'm gonna be there. Tejas is also gonna be there. Another guy from Crab Nebula, if you don't know. And bunch of people from different places. So I think it's gonna be live streamed. I'll figure this out tonight and tweet it. And yeah, join up, and then we talk about SolidJS, we talk about Tauri, and we talk about a bunch of other stuff. If you're in Berlin, let me know. Um, Thanks a lot for all of you, and I'll catch you up on Discord or on the next one. Bye.